nobody actually thought of doing that. The best part is, too, though, you can put in anybody's phone number. So I've been doing it to my friends. So all day they've been getting these phone calls, and this weird voice will just be like, hello, I see that you're in a situation right now. What you want to do is walk away from that. And it's just weird guy talking to you.
I feel like I was in the Matrix. It'd be like, Morpheus?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so my buddy Josiah has gotten about 10 of those today. So just so you know, now he knows about it.
Nope app.
The Nope app.
If you give me his number, I'll start doing it to him.
Okay, we'll all do it. Yeah, that'll work out well.
We can just put it on the comments of this stream and then just have everybody in the Western Hemisphere doing it.
Get the Nope app. Annoy your friends. All right. Hello, everyone. This is Trends with Benefits. This is our weekly roundtable podcast where we gather a roundtable of experts here from digital trends to talk about the tech topics of the day. We are live on Facebook and YouTube, in addition to this going up as a podcast. And we want to get your thoughts, your opinions, and everything we're going to be covering today. It's a wide range of stuff, and I can see we've already got some heated comments coming in. I don't know, conspiracy theories that are happening. We've got Conspiracy Dan already said hello in there. So yeah, so we know it's going to be good today. So we've got a ton of things to get to. We're going to be talking about Airbus's new, basically a drone car system that we'll get into. We're going to talk about Snapchat, and Holly is going to tell us how that works because I have no idea, and a lot of other things that we're going to get to, including WikiLeaks. I'm your host, Greg Nibbler. Let's introduce our cast here to the right.
My name is Rick Stella. I'm a staff writer here.
Hello.
And soon to be outdoor editor, actually.
Oh.
Just got a promotion, yeah.
Dude, congratulations.
Thank you.
That is
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.
So you're going to be getting a ton of free, awesome things.
Outdoor stuff,
Pretty
yeah.
much, yeah. Just
Yeah.
in time for spring and
I
summer.
know, shoot.
Okay, yeah. If you need any tents reviewed, just please let me know.
Right. I have a running list of everybody like, I need this, I need that,
Yeah.
I need
Oh,
this.
you're
Let me
gonna
know when you're going to be doing that.
Yeah, I'll make a list for you.
Yeah.
All right, Andy, you're right.
I'm Holly, social media manager and Snapchat expert.
Snapchat expert right there. And on the end.
I am Drew Prindle, and I talk into a microphone on these podcasts sometimes.
Yes, you do. You are also part robot because you have the implant in your hand.
The
You
rest
just
of
watch
us
there's
that.
no
that.
tester,
There's
yeah.
that.
There's that too. All right, so again, live on YouTube and Facebook. So go ahead and put your comments in there, and we'll be going through those. We have to talk about this, though. This has been the biggest trending story all week long. It is WikiLeaks and their revelation. I think it's called Vault 7, which that could not be a more cryptic name they could have put out for this thing.
Sounds like a Fallout thing.
It does, yeah. Who knows what's going to happen with that? So Vault 7 is their release this week, and it's essentially explaining how their CIA documents about how they have been hacking different kinds of technology, and it's their very top secret things that have just been released, and explaining how they're getting around different security measures, and especially some of the highlighted things were talking about iOS and Android devices, and then also smart televisions, that they were getting around some Samsung smart televisions to where if you thought it was off, you'd see the red light saying it was off. They had a way to get around that to make it seem like it was off, and then at the same time record using the microphone that's on board. So I mean, if you're already paranoid, this is like the worst thing that could ever happen. I'm the guy who has a Band-Aid on my computer, so, this doesn't help me too much. But at this point, though, I guess the question I want to ask is, we were talking about this, whether or not it actually affects you in day-to-day life. And I will say this, a lot of the updates apparently fix some of those issues that we know of. There may be ways that they get around that. Let's see, we've got some people coming in talking about, there's some other kind of meteorologist thing. I don't even know what's going on here. So I'll try to follow this as we have them coming in. Dan is furiously typing PlayStation and some other kinds of things. Oh, and
Why isn't Dan
Xbox
on the show?
too.
We need him
Yeah.
on there. This is like the
I asked
perfect show for
Conspiracy Dan in here, but he had a meeting, so maybe he can pop by and let us know.
His meeting was to watch the podcast.
He's been listening to
on
us the whole time. And I guess the main question I want to get out is, what does it actually mean for you that this is happening, that they're doing this? Because to me, in the end, is it really that surprising that the CIA is able to hack into our devices? I mean, everything's connected to the internet.
That's the thing that bugs me. It's like, this should be a huge revelation. Everybody should be super pissed about it, and some people are.
Yeah.
But for the most part, everybody's just like, oh yeah, of course they were. No big deal.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, like I knew it. And I think that's kind of a problem because we've all become so desensitized to the fact that our own government is watching our every move.
Is that what it is?
That it's not even a big deal anymore. Like, we don't even think twice about it. We expect it, which is, that's just bad. It's a problem.
It's a problem that
we should be rallying
just
against this, but everybody's just like,
It's just
whatever.
because we're too desensitized to it, and we really should be.
Because I feel like these announcements come out, every month.
Yeah.
If it's not
exactly.
the CIA, it's the FBI or the NSA. Or
Somebody is watching.
Vizio's TVs are spying on you or something like
That's
that.
right. I forgot about that one already.
There's, we're just being watched constantly, and everybody's become so used to it that we don't even get mad anymore.
But we should be mad, is what you're saying. We should
really.
be upset about this. Like,
But it's really like, what do we do?
That's
like,
what I was gonna say. Like, what do you do about it? I mean, I got an Amazon Echo, so I know everything I say is being recorded. So I'm used to that now.
Yeah.
But I mean, what do you do about it? Like, what's the end result? Assuming that they can get out and just like disconnect from everything. I mean, is that it? Just become a hermit, live in the woods? I mean,
I think it's what we're doing now, which is just accept it and just
Yeah.
if you can't stand up and do anything about it, like I mean, there's you can just disconnect if you want to, but I think that puts you kind of at a
at a
loss.
disadvantage. Yeah. Holly, what do you think about this?
I mean, I feel really bad, but I'm one of those people that I guess doesn't care just because I feel like I don't have anything to hide from the CIA. I don't feel like, and this might come back to bite me, but I don't have anything to prove or, nothing I say or do is going to be used against me except in the case of ads. I feel like that's not where this is going, but
Because
where the
they're picking up
Vizio
on the advertising.
TVs, just being sold to and everything like that. But
There's a lot of people bringing up the fact that Xboxes and PlayStations can turn on and do this. Dan says his advice to avoid this is the best is to unplug them when you aren't using them or don't hook them up to the internet, which that's
Might
true.
not.
I mean, that is the best way to do it is just to not hook anything up. But pretty much everything's going to be part of the Internet of Things.
One of the first things you do on literally any device is connected to the internet.
Yeah,
You connect it to
almost
Wi-Fi.
anything now.
And to Xbox and PS4, I mean, those things are built to function online, so you can play with other people and like connect with other people and all that. And I get that, but that's like, I don't know, that seems like a far-fetched solution
nowadays,
for people
yeah.
that are just not going to disconnect like that.
To
you know?
actually do it. And for anybody watching too, again, on YouTube and Facebook, put in your comments like, what do you do? Are you concerned about this? Or are you just like, well, that's how life is now, and just ignore it and go on with it? Assume everybody's watching. Drew thinks that's a bad idea. But again, what do we do? That's the problem. It's either I think you either have to do one or the other and assume somebody's always going to find a way around security measures,
Do you put a Band-Aid on your computer?
which may not be
I
the
do
right
not,
thing to say.
actually.
I do.
Great. You do? Really?
Yeah,
Ah.
not on my work laptop, but for the longest time, and on my iPad, I have a little sticky note on
The
it.
only reason I don't do it is because I have a MacBook and they have that circuitry. It's like the little green light will only come on
If it's
the
on.
camera's on,
Yeah.
and there's no way to bypass that. It's
Oh, okay.
if the camera's getting power, the green light has to be on. So I mean, I'm fairly confident in that because if you can hack that, you are a wizard and you broke into my computer and tweaked the hardware
Right.
yourself.
Right.
But I don't know. I do some things. You guys know the Signal messaging app? It's
Yeah, how does-
fully encrypted MMS stuff. Apparently, though, that's not even 100% secure. If you use the browser on your phone, apparently this,
Yeah.
what's it called? This Sector 7 or what?
Vault 7. Vault
Sector
7. Yeah.
7.
Whatever it is, I don't know. They have ways that if you even just open the browser on your phone, they could compromise the entire device. So,
Is
I don't know.
Signal
I
supposed to
think-
be more encrypted than WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
didn't they get into WhatsApp?
Yeah,
Is that what they did?
WhatsApp
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
cracked, apparently.
Yeah, I mean they've
just recently,
figured out
right?
ways to crack pretty much everything because they were getting around it, and the tech. You can read the full article at digitaltrends.com on how they were doing it, but essentially they were doing it on a device basis. So they were not really getting around the encryption, but they could get to it before the encryption and read it through the device. Again, it's a very I'm not a hacker, but you can see you can see it at digitaltrends.com. I would be terrible at that as a job. But yeah, I mean, again, people are coming in with the comments too. Let's see. Scott says, I don't agree that we should be worried about being watched by your own government. I want to believe this is okay. I'm going to see if we're going into something I shouldn't be reading here. Okay. I want to believe that our lives would protect us from situations like that. The problem that I think is that technology has gotten too far ahead of itself in regards to espionage. Yeah, I mean, technology is not going to slow down. And more, like we said, that's not going to change. We're going to have to get used to everything being connected. So is there a way to be secure in that, or you just?
Well, I think if you can't fight it, then what Holly
Yeah.
said, if you have nothing to hide, then I guess you just embrace
Yeah.
it and move forward.
And recognize that if you ever do have something to hide, don't.
They probably see you.
Just
Yeah.
unplug everything, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I take that back now. I guess I don't mind
What do
our
you have to hide,
government
Ollie?
spying on me, but if we get hacked by another
Sure.
country or
Yeah.
whatever, then that could be
it's
a
happening.
problem.
It all comes back to Russia. That's what it is. It's the Russians did it.
Greg Nibbler said it.
Yep.
We did not say that. Greg said Russia.
My phone will now
Yeah.
shut down. The computer's going to go offline. Yeah, everything's going to happen right there. So yeah, that's the revelation. I think this is a conversation that's obviously going to be going on for a while. I mean, I don't know when this ever changes.
Didn't they say they only released 1%
Yeah.
of the stuff they had? So there's still a lot more that could be released, or a lot more that WikiLeaks has access to.
Supposedly, they're going to release some of it to two different tech companies so that they can kind of work around some security on it. and try to figure out
he's entered the
how to get
building.
ahead of
He's
it.
here.
And then they're going to release it all out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, very
Special
special
segment.
guest.
Hello.
It is
Conspiracy
Conspiracy Dan.
Dan.
I knew he couldn't resist it for
Dun-dun-dun.
long.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, let's
All
hear it.
right. All right, Dan, what are your thoughts on this?
I think worrying about TVs and PlayStations is the least of everybody's what they should be worrying. They should be worrying about their phones.
The phones,
Yeah.
yeah?
The phones, everybody has one. It's always in their pocket or on them. Even if you power it down through the power button, it still has power, and they can be remotely
Really?
triggered to record audio and video.
Even if it's powered off?
Well, powered off through the button, it's
Uh-huh.
not actually powered off. Your GPS is still running. You still have some processor power going. But the only way to turn them off is to remove the battery.
What if I put it in a lead pouch?
Can you remove the battery on an iPhone?
No.
What if it was
No.
completely
No.
dead?
The more I think
Well,
about that,
there's
yeah.
no power at
No power,
all.
yeah.
Then it's yeah. There's
But
no
you'd have to
way.
like waste your batteries. So
I mean, realistically, my phone is never more than 10 feet away from me anyway. Even if I'm
Right.
in the bathroom, the shower, it's still going to be on a counter or something
Not
like
just
that, or in a pocket.
It's tracking
yeah.
you through GPS.
Oh, man.
You have apps. They know what you're talking about, your email, all that stuff. So if your phone gets compromised, and trust me, they could, if they wanted to, whoever wanted to, they
Yeah.
could target you if they had the means to do it. Go after Greg Nibbler.
Yeah.
We want to know what and it's not about whether you have something to hide or not.
Uh-huh.
It's more about your privacy, your right to privacy, right? So whatever I do in my home should be up to me. If I go kill somebody, then that's horrible.
Right.
The only
It's
way
my
we're
business.
yeah, right.
But-
that was in my home.
But if I decide to, like, hey, I don't agree with this policy that the government's doing, or I don't agree with what somebody else is doing, I have the right to think that and speak
Right.
that. And if someone disagrees with that and actually have the means to,
Yeah.
like, do something about it, and in a negative way, maybe it's not legal, which we know happens all the time, where people retaliate, or what happens if tomorrow all of a sudden a totalitarian state and they go after people that have said things and had views that they didn't agree with.
Right. They're keeping
in
a
the
list
past.
somewhere and going with it.
So all of a sudden, this is not like necessarily they only store it real time and it's gone. They can store this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And if they choose, they already know that through a bunch of the old laws that have been passed to watch out for terrorists and things like that, they're storing conversations from phones.
Yeah.
And they're storing them for a long time. So that's what I worry about.
So how do you combat that, though? I mean, in the end, do you just not use a phone?
He's still got an iPhone in his pocket.
Yeah.
Even after all of that, man.
At
Like,
some
it's
Conspiracy Dan is an iPhone.
We're at
Yeah.
a point in technology and in our lives here in the first world that you're giving up freedoms whether you know it or not.
Yeah.
And when you also have policies being put in place to try to protect our freedoms here at home, you're also giving up freedoms to be able to, protect against bigger threats.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really anything we can do as an individual unless we all band together and start changing policy and go after, government agencies that are doing things illegally that they shouldn't be doing. But the problem is, how do you know?
Yeah.
So you have this
These
leak
leaks.
from WikiLeaks. Then now it's
Yeah.
like, holy crap, well, who's actually going to stand up against that and have a voice and do something about it? It's up to us as a people, right?
So
call your congressman. That's what he's saying.
is that really what it gets down to? Yeah, it's call your congressman and say, I'm not happy with this about what they're doing.
I'm sure
'Cause,
Ron
I mean-
Wyden's already on it right now.
Yeah. Wyden's doing all right.
I would say the TV thing, too, those have been doing it ever since they came out. Since they
Yeah.
had cameras and microphones.
Right, because
they've
and
been
Drew brought up the
reporting.
whole Vizio thing. I forgot all about that. Yeah, where Vizio had theirs.
Vizio
There's
and
that.
Samsung. I think.
Samsung, yeah, they had an issue with it.
Yep.
I mean, and nothing is going to change. Everything's going to be more connected. I mean, everything's listening to what you're saying.
Yep.
All right.
Little
We
Alexa.
picked a good episode to have Conspiracy Dan come on.
It is.
Yeah, yeah.
I knew he couldn't last too long without coming in here.
I have to jet.
Okay. All right. Conspiracy Dan, everyone. All right. Well, thanks. So that's our topic on WikiLeaks. So keep those comments coming in. I'm seeing a lot of things coming in here. We've got some other things we do need to get to that we want to talk about. But again, drop the comments in there, or you can always email podcast@digitaltrends.com too. So we do have the other things I want to get to. We're going to talk about the Airbus flying car, which I think if you haven't seen this, you are really going to be fascinated to see what's coming with this. But we do have, as usual, some
Another
iPhone
week,
rumors.
another iPhone
Another
rumor.
week, another iPhone rumor. Everybody loves their iPhones. And this newest one has to do with whether or not they're going to remove the home button as part of it. So the home button, again, I'm not an iPhone user. I'm an Android person. How important is that home button to you when it comes down to an iPhone?
I mean, it's the pretty much almost the entire thing to get into it. How would you unlock it otherwise? I
So,
guess that's the question.
I think what they're talking about going with a full OLED. These are all rumors, but going with a full like OLED screen where either it would be voice activated or something on
touch
the screen,
sensitive on the
touch
entire
sensitive.
thing.
I think it
That'd
can
be
work
fine.
through the screen. They've developed
Yeah.
the technology
Yeah.
where the
Yeah.
button works
Works
through
through the screen.
an entire glass panel.
Yeah.
So you would just drop that actual home button.
Yeah, you just
And
have
that'd
more
be fine.
space for the screen. The issue that people are getting angry about is the fact that moving the home button behind the screen is like if something goes wrong with that, the only way to repair it is to get inside of the phone. And they're not going to make that possible unless you go to an Apple store. So Apple's going to be the only person who can repair your phone. Like DIY,
it's
fixing
not
it,
gonna work.
all of this right to repair stuff that's going on right now.
Out the
This
window.
is
Which that's such an Apple thing to do.
Well, they charge you like
totally.
$200.
They're just going to keep you in the walled garden of
Yeah.
Apple. You can only
Yeah.
use like even if it breaks, you can't go to like
Right.
just a repair store. You have to go to them.
Yeah.
Which is what people are getting up in arms about.
Well, so that's part of the rumor is that they were going to do that. Now they're saying maybe they'll bring back the home button. It's still all kind of up in the air what they're going to do for this iPhone 8 or iPhone X that some people have speculated would be called iPhone X. There's also
Start with the alphabet.
Yeah, there's also the whole backlash about the Lightning jack, and now there's talk they might actually go with the USB-C, which is a universal port.
thank God.
Which is crazy that Apple would actually do something like that.
Something user friendly?
Something
No way.
user-friendly
Right.
that you can buy a generic charger. You don't have to worry about, and I mean, because Androids are probably going to go to that too. Like,
Yeah.
can you imagine just having one charger for?
So then,
for
if
iPhones
that's
then?
the case, they're gonna just be purely Bluetooth for headphones then.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Because are there
Yeah.
USB-C
Another
headphones?
dongle.
Another dongle.
Another dongle?
You'll have to
Yeah.
buy your USB-C headphones. Yes.
Right,
yeah.
From the Apple Store.
Yeah, exactly. From the Apple Store. That's how you'd end up doing it. I mean, I think the USB-C thing, that is a definite positive
Sure.
move if they were to end up doing that. I'm curious what people think too. We've got some different comments coming in here. But I don't know. As far as that, I kind of don't think they're going to do it. I kind of don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to end up,
USB-C
yeah.
thing? No,
Because they're going to end up with something of
that'd
their
piss
own.
off a bunch of users that just bought all of their Lightning headphones and all
Yeah.
of the stupid peripherals.
Well, and to
they had
that, think
get.
about how much money they make selling these lightning cables. You know, their
Right.
own. Otherwise, you could just go to Radio Shack,
Yeah.
if that still exists, and buy like a universal USB-C cord instead of having to buy like you don't have to buy like Apple branded ones, but I'm sure they like sell off like the rights to make app or lightning cords.
I'm sure.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, everybody's got to pay a licensing fee if you're going
Right.
to make something for Apple. I would assume that's how it works anyway. Christian says you can get USB-C headphones now. So, yeah, maybe that's where they would go. Yeah, something universal. That would be very strange to hear from
Very
Apple.
un-Apple.
Very un-Apple-like. Very un-Apple-like, dude. So those are the rumors about the iPhone 8. All right, bouncing on to our next
Yeah, let's
topic.
talk about the flying car.
Let's get to the flying car because this is actually pretty exciting. So it came out from Airbus, and they had kind of teased this a couple of years ago, I believe, where they were talking about how they had a plan for the flying car that they didn't want to give up on that. And it's like, all right, okay, yeah, maybe they will, maybe they won't, probably not. Well, now, this week, they came out with something at the Geneva Motor Show, and they unveiled a spec video that is showing their concept of how we can not only have autonomous vehicles, but also flying cars all in one. So the concept is this. You would order a ride. So it's all, you have to order this. You don't get to fly it or drive it, but you ride in it. You order a car, and a car will show up like a little kind of pod car. Almost looks like a smart car.
Yeah.
And it picks you up, drives you to one of their presumably big parking lots that they have. Like, say
Like a
you wanna-
drone pickup station.
a drone pickup station, yeah. And then a giant autonomous drone essentially flies over, clips onto the pod, lifts you up, and then flies you to another location and you leave the wheels behind and drops you into another set of wheels, presumably way closer to your destination. And then from there, the drone, the automated car takes you to your destination. And that's how it would work. And I'm ready to ride in one. I don't care. I think it's awesome. Normally, I'm opposed to these kinds of things. This just looks fun.
Is that getting picked up on a golf course?
Yeah,
like, I'm
yeah,
done.
Yeah, one of the videos.
This is
yeah.
ridiculous. I'm not shooting anything. I'm on the golf course. I'm on the back nine.
Just
And it's like,
storming
yeah,
off.
on the way.
Yeah.
I feel like Airbus always comes out with these crazy concepts, and usually they're in the
Mm-hmm.
form of like patents because we've written about them a bunch. But for them to have like, that's like a pretty extensive video. They have like, I think Airbus owners talking about it and whatnot. But Did they
really
say
convincing animation?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
Terrible animation.
Okay, well, here's what they're saying though. Let's see, Airbus CEO Tom Enders. Let's see, he was talking about in 2016. Yeah, he has a grand speech about it. 100 years ago, urban transport went underground. Now we have the technological wherewithal to go above ground. And
wow,
big.
Elon Musk disagrees.
Yeah, right. Exactly. He
That
will
is
bore
true.
underneath you.
Yeah, this guy should fight Elon in a one-on-one battle. That would be great. Tech CEO versus tech CEO.
Just the final thing is Elon kicking him into one of the Falcon 9s and then shooting him off into space.
It's like a South Park episode waiting to happen.
Like celebrity
It really
deathmatch
is.
or something.
Yes, somebody's got to make that happen. But Airbus is saying that they want to be ready for service design in place within 7 to 10 years of something like
That
this.
means that's not happening. That's what 7 to 10 years means.
You think so?
probably.
That's far enough out that you'll forget about this. in
Everything's 7 to
years.
10 years out, and then once we get 7 to 10 years, then maybe everybody has it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. That's like that gray area where it's like, it'll be down the line a little bit, and then the Airbus will come out with something else in 6 months. I guarantee it. They're going to come out with another patented thing.
6 months.
That's
You think
going to
it'll
be.
change?
I can't even remember the various random Airbus stuff we've written about in emerging text, but like
Rockets and like engines for
These
rockets
massive
and other things.
planes and
yeah,
shit.
Exactly,
Yeah,
like
like-
hypersonic jets.
yeah, right. They're just
They've
like
got a lot of sweet ideas,
Yeah.
and I'm confident that they'll pull through
One
on
of
a
'em.
few of them in like a decade or two. But I'm not gonna hold my breath.
no.
Yeah. Well, let's see. A couple of comments coming through. Somebody said could replace medical evacuation helicopters. Yeah, maybe.
I feel like
don't
that's like a
know.
little bit too cumbersome. You can just
Yeah.
put somebody in a helicopter and then you're out.
By the
instead
time
of
you
just
fly
like,
it there, yeah.
Do you have your payment option on you?
I know, how much does it cost?
That's a good question. That was brought up how much it would cost. And I mean, they don't have a price because it's just speculative.
The animation had like a guy like with his glasses on. It was just like payment accepted. I don't know if it said a price on there.
don't
Like
know
the
if it
woman
did,
on like
yeah.
the super futuristic tablet was
One
like ordering
bajillion
one.
Bitcoin.
Yeah. Sign me up.
Yeah, your firstborn child. That's pretty much what it's going to be.
Deal.
Let's see. Solo Trek was working on concepts like this a decade ago, but it was not autopiloted. So, I mean, other people, like you guys just said, you always have something.
Like, even that
this,
guy
yeah.
says they're working on a concept a decade ago,
Yeah.
and here we are 10 years later, and we have nothing like that at all. You
Except
know?
Uber and Lyft. I feel like the concept of requesting a car, it comes up
Absolutely.
honestly like that is acceptable now, and
right.
we see that. But the whole flying off into space, I'm like,
doesn't
And
Uber
fully
have a-
autonomous,
that,
too.
yeah.
Doesn't Uber have a helicopter service that you can call?
They do, I don't know actually, but I can't imagine it's autonomous. Like this
No,
wants to be
no,
100% autonomous, and there's like
Yeah.
I don't even know 50 autonomous cars doing Uber rides right now or something.
Yeah,
or
something like
not
that.
even that many.
Yeah.
But
Well, either way, it's a cool idea.
Sure.
I'm willing to sign up to test it. I'll go in it. Although I think the jetpack would be the first thing I'd want to test if I had to choose.
to test a
between these
jetpack,
two.
Drew
Oh, yeah.
almost tested a jetpack.
Yeah, I was gonna say
No, I
you
didn't
seem
know.
you were
Almost
within
that's what I
shouting
did.
distance of a jetpack.
I met the dude who flew the jetpack. I don't know if I'd do it myself.
You wouldn't?
Actually, no, I would do that one.
Yeah, I was
like,
gonna
he-
say.
It was like over water,
Yeah,
wasn't
he was
it?
saying it
You
was
got an
so easy
implant
to
in your
fly.
hand. You're telling me you wouldn't try a
Okay.
jetpack?
I won't try the crazy what was it? The drone, the E-Hang 184 that we were talking about a couple weeks
The
ago.
drone taxi.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, but this jetpack is pretty proven.
Yeah. All right. Well, there it is. So let's see. I believe the Uber flights is only available in California. So yeah, maybe they might have something like that going on. I could see that happening in Silicon
They
Valley.
did say don't quote them on that. So
Don't quote them.
You
on
just
that.
quoted them.
But I'm quoting them. So
tell me what to
Zahara
do.
Schaefer says. Sorry, I called your name out there. So I'm putting that. That's if anybody's wrong, they can email you.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving on to our last couple of topics, we're going to get back to something with drones here in a minute that we've got to end with. But before we do that, we need Holly, our Snapchat expert, to talk about this. So Snapchat is also one of the that's been all over the news because of their IPO and that they made $18 gajillion over this last week when they went public. And something else, though, that now they're really having to deal with are competitors. So I'm wondering how long this is going to last, that they're going to make money. And again, this is why I'm handing it over to you. So, Holly, you are a Snapchat user. You even have the glasses.
I do.
Yeah.
I should have brought them.
I know,
Every
yeah.
time I
I know,
forget.
right. I will say real quick, I think Snap's IPO didn't do as well as they thought.
Really?
And it went up and then kind of
It's
down a little
tanking
bit,
right
and then
now.
it's tanking now.
It's
Is it tanking?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
All
some-
right.
someone's- it looks
'Cause
like it-
NBC bought like $500 million worth of shares or something like that. I mean, it was
Leave it to
seriously
NBC.
like $400 million or
Yeah,
something.
I'm surprised it
along
wasn't
those
like,
lines.
Anyways,
either
but,
way,
yeah,
he's not
it's still
doing-
a super popular thing.
Still popular. Well, now Facebook is already trying to take away some of that with the launch of Messenger Day, which my Messenger updated, so I see it on there.
Messenger
I'm never going to
Day.
use it. But Holly, what do you think about this? Do you think Snapchat is actually a sustainable social media network, or is this just is it just a fad, honestly?
I mean, people love taking photos of themselves, and I think adding those filters
true. That's very true.
was a really successful idea because now we can make ourselves look pretty or ugly and like give you more of an incentive to share
put
and
like a
send
beard
it.
on you, right?
Yeah. So I love using it. I think it's a fresh new social media, and one of the best things about it is it's so simple still. I think Facebook and Twitter, they tend to get really complicated. There's all these different things, but if Facebook's coming out with its own competition app.
Yeah, in Messenger.
Yeah, the audiences are so different. Facebook is a lot older. You know, if you go to middle schools, you know, there's a lot of young kids that are on Instagram and Snapchat, but they don't have Facebook accounts. They don't have Twitter accounts. So I think it's very different systems. I don't think there's really going to be a lot of adoption there. Maybe not in America. Maybe in other countries where like WhatsApp and these messenger systems are a lot more in use. But
I think you're connected to different people with Messenger. Like I have different people on my Messenger than not all different, not 100% different than I have on Snapchat. You know, like and I think it scans your like phone contacts too in Messenger. So you would have just like all these random people that you could send to. Whereas on Snapchat you have to add people like specifically. You know. So I don't know if like they'd be able to corner the market that way because you already have like however many. How many Facebook friends I've had? Like 1 billion or something?
Yeah, but I'm
like
not trying to send them my ugly selfies.
Just all 1,000 of your friends. Like, you're like triple
I already have
selfie.
my friend's mom and aunt on Snapchat, and that's been a problem in the past, so I don't
I don't accept family members. I let it sit there. I never accept it. That way, if they ever ask, I'm just like, oh, didn't see it.
I don't
Sorry.
ever use it.
I missed that. Yeah. And then that way I don't have to deal with it because I don't want them seeing anything. Okay, so you think this isn't going to compete? That Snapchat will stand up to this? And or Snap?
Nobody's going to jump ship and go to Facebook, man. Anybody who wanted the ethereal messaging that like your messages delete after a little bit or after they're viewed, they're already on Snapchat.
Right.
It's been the only game in town for how many years now?
Yeah.
If you're not on board now, you're not
going to be on board.
You're not going to be like, Facebook made the same thing?
Wait a minute.
Let me, for
I
sure.
love Zuckerberg. Let me get that right now.
I'm such a fanboy. I'm totally going to use this all the time. No, that's not going to happen.
Facebook for life.
The Winklevoss twins definitely won't be getting this.
Well, I want to know, like, if anybody watching is on Messenger, if they've used it before.
If they've tried
use it now?
Yeah, it just updated. I think today. Yeah, was when it came out because mine updated. It's on there
and it's
right
called,
now.
What's it called?
Messenger Day.
Messenger Day.
Messenger Day.
Yeah.
We should be broadcasting
Dude,
on Messenger Day.
Messenger Day, bro.
It rolls off the
Snap.
tongue so well.
That's why they rebranded as Snap because it's so easy to say. It's one syllable.
Snap.
You can just say,
Snap
send me
me,
a snap,
bro.
man.
Yeah, snap me, bro.
Send me a Messenger Day, please. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work.
No, not at all.
Not a marketing
Well,
expert,
anyway.
but that seems like a pretty dumb name.
All right, well, there's that. That's the
Messenger
news.
Day.
Facebook taking on Snapchat. So I was just kind of curious what everybody thought about that. See, Sam says, I disagree. I didn't get Snapchat because I keep my social media simple and don't see much of a reason to get it. If it were something on Facebook that I'm already using, I'd consider getting it. So maybe, and that's kind of
fair enough.
I mean, if you don't want to expand to more and more social media apps
You still
on your
have
phone.
to download a new app.
No, you don't, because it's
don't?
all part of Messenger.
Well,
Just
if you
update.
didn't have Messenger now
If you didn't
became
have
a second app to
Yeah.
Facebook.
But they
It's
forced
just-
you to download that, so.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If you wanted to chat on it, I didn't have Messenger for the longest time, and I just didn't really chat on Facebook that much. But
I only use it because I get messages all the time, so
Right.
I have to do it. But
Popular Greg over
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I
all
get
the
so
time.
many
Snapchat.
messages
Yeah, this
all
guy
day.
over here. They're looking for that guy.
So many
Wait,
messages.
we have it.
It looks exactly like Snapchat's interface.
Is it really?
Like
It's a
almost
little hokier,
a
though.
little bit hokier.
Yeah.
They
so-
don't,
Day.
I don't know if
the
you
like
can,
overlap.
If you're listening via
the
podcast
graphics
and
aren't
you
as
have
cool.
Messenger,
Yeah.
you've got this on there. Let's see. I didn't Zahar said I didn't update it. I usually wait a week to allow them to get the bugs out. Yeah, I mean it's on there. I mean I think I have auto updates on that.
Yeah, I do too. And I'm like
Yeah, I
on
got it.
Wi-Fi, it'll
Yeah.
just auto update all my apps.
Yeah,
But
that's what it is. All right. Well, let's go to our final topic. We're going back to something with drones, and this is something we've brought up before.
it's a big day for Drew.
It's
Actually,
it's
This
huge.
is
It's a
This
Drew
is
day.
it.
This is a
It
big
is a
day.
Drew day, and this is we've discussed this over the last ever since drones have becoming have become popular about law enforcement agencies are always trying to figure out how to stop them and keep them out of places where they shouldn't be. And in Europe, they're using Falcons and Eagles, literally Falcons and Eagles, to take down some drones. And I think they've tried out different, ray guns. Ray gun, I think is what they actually called it. And it's something like that. And different ways to stop it. Well, now Oklahoma wants to put the power into the actual homeowner. And there is a bill that is up right now that would remove any civil liability for a property owner who damages or destroys a drone that is flying in the airspace above their premises. Essentially, they're saying you can shoot down a drone if it flies over your property. That is what that's Oklahoma Senate Bill 660. That is actually...
Who would have thunk? Oklahoma, really?
Yeah. No
Never
way.
thought that they were going to be the first ones to enact such forward-thinking legislation.
Just shoot it down.
This goddamn thing. And it's like his own drone. Oh, whoops.
It's probably going to be his son's or something.
Yeah, right.
All right, Drew, what do you think about this? Is this an adequate way to handle drones?
I think it's great.
This is a small footnote on like the real. Like, tell them what happened after this story published.
Basically, this story got picked up by my favorite anti-drone Facebook page, which is this thing called "Throw Stones at Drones." If you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. I have no idea who's behind it, but the guy who runs it apparently just hates drones, and he has this. He believes that we should throw rocks at them. Rocks thrown with accuracy and salvation is what it says.
And salvation?
That's what it says on his page.
Oh my gosh.
And he picked it up and he was like, "This news is great. This is to be welcomed."
Throw stones at drones.
Yeah,
okay,
check
so
it out
he's
for
behind
sure.
it. I just posted a link if you're watching on Facebook or.
Oh my gosh.
Follow
That's
it.
so
He posts
good.
some
Yeah.
really good stuff. I'm
Yeah.
not even joking. It's really funny and entertaining.
What?
But the thing that gets me about this law is like, is there like a ceiling? What if you have like
400 feet?
Oh, okay.
That's what it's.
I was gonna say, what if like a military drone buzzes over your house and you're like, "I'm gonna get it," and you somehow have the ability to shoot it down?
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know.
400 feet is pretty high too.
that's
Actually, I
pretty
mean,
high.
when you're thinking about that, I mean, that's
Technically,
shooting
that's
some.
like the FAA limit for how high
Yeah.
drones can fly. So if
Which
you
are
can't
pretty
reach it,
Somebody's
then
just
high.
sitting out there
You're
with a gun.
cheating.
Oh, he's getting down there. Bam, shoot it. I mean, and then how are you going to prove it anyway at that point? I don't know. That is what they're going for. I mean, wasn't it in New Jersey? There was a guy that got in big trouble for shooting a drone out of the sky. You're discharging a firearm in the city.
Yeah, that was.
That's part of it.
It was because it was his neighbor's drone, and he thought his neighbor was flying his drone over his property
Spy on
and
him.
shot it out of the air. And I mean that's disputed because whose airspace is whose, where does
Right.
it begin and end? It's really hard to tell when you're up in the air.
Yeah.
But with this, I don't think this is the worst legislation. Like if somebody's fully invading your privacy with a network connected drone with a camera on it, you should be able to get rid of it.
Yeah, I mean, if we were talking about like flying around your windows, like video, then that I could kind of see. But if it's just somebody who's just flying their drone, they happen to cross just over your line where you think it is, and just bam, shot out of the sky.
It seems like good sport, really.
You're just having fun at the park and someone just rolls up with a shotgun.
You also got to
and just
wonder,
bam.
man,
like,
that's
what
true,
the-
yeah.
once Amazon rolls out its drone delivery platform, don't order anything that travels through Oklahoma.
Yeah, right. That'll be on the blacklist, I'm sure. There's no way.
Order tracking, it'll be like, your order has shipped. Your order has been shot down in Oklahoma
Time for
City.
manual pickup. Yeah, you can go find it.
Go find Chet. It's at his house. Yeah.
I got myself a new TV today.
Yeah, a lot of comments coming in on this one. I know we need to wrap up and get to
what are
the
they
end,
saying?
but let's see. The hardest part for the Oklahoma law is that it's so hard to tell if a drone is over a property due to depth perception.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. Yeah, how are you really going to know? I mean, I don't think a guy with a gun who's shooting down a drone is going to care too much about whether it's technically or not on his property. Let's see. Let's go shooting. Shooting sounds fun. Oh, go drone shooting. Yeah, so maybe this is the new sport. Yeah, shoot down drones. as you go
Sounds
along.
kind of fun.
Sounds
Sounds
good. Well, right.
dangerous.
There's actually a place in Arizona where you can do that.
Where they
Shoot drones. It's like skeet shooting. They have like wing drones that are equipped with like small like explosive things in the wings, and they buzz them around, and you can shoot at them with shotguns.
And they blow up.
And once you hit one of the little explosive things, it puts a hole in the wing, and the thing just falls down.
I think a more fun game. Does somebody else control it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you try to keep it away.
So
from
I would
them
drive
shooting
it
Try and dodge.
Oh, all right. Now that's pretty fun. I would
Field
be on
trip.
board with
Let's
that.
go
Yeah,
do
yeah.
like a DT day at the range.
saving up a few Culture Club months. We're doing that.
All right, that's got to happen. Okay, let's get to our final thing here. So again, this is Trends with Benefits. This is our weekly podcast where we talk on where we broadcast on Facebook and YouTube, and then also available as a podcast. And Holly, let's talk about the thing that just rolled out this week. The Digital Trends wallpaper.
See wallpapers.
We're so excited. We have Digital
was an
Trends.
exciting-
It sounds like
I'm
it.
pumped.
digitaltrends.com/wallpaper. We have just rolled out a bunch of whole new designs for your mobile up to your desktop. And so we want you guys to download them, use them, post your photos of your setup, and tag us on Twitter so we can start retweeting everybody and get the word out.
Awesome. So digitaltrends.com/wallpaper.
Yeah, and I'll be looking through all of these personally, and if you make them funny, I'll retweet it, and somebody's going to get a prize.
Oh, all right, there we go. So Holly will personally look
Stranger
at
Things
whatever you
vibe on
post
that
for them.
one.
Yeah, that one is pretty cool. All right, so yeah, go there and check that out. So that's just part of all the different things that we have going on here at Digital Trends. Go to the website. There's tons of stuff. Everything that we've talked about today, there's in-depth articles about all of those things. You want to find out more about drones, just look up drones. There's anything you would ever want to know about drones, or of course, go to the Facebook page, Throw Stones at Drones. No, go to Digital Trends and subscribe there to everything that we've got. We've got our podcast on iTunes and Stitcher, so you can subscribe to the audio version. We've got a lot of different things that are going on YouTube and the site, so just stay up to date with everything that we've got. Join us here for this show every Thursday live at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. If you have a topic you want us to cover, just send it to us, and maybe we'll get into that next week. So thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back next week with another episode.